Before the commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting, which was held at the Presidential Villa today, President Muhammadu Buhari swore in Justice Olukayode Areola as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria. The swearing-in ceremony was witnessed by Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, governors of Oyo and Ondo states, Seyi Makinde and Rotimi Akeredolu, among others. Take a look at this.
Justice Ariwola was appointed as acting Chief Justice of Nigeria on June 27, following the resignation of Justice Tanko Muhammad on health grounds. He was appointed a Justice of the Supreme Court on November 22, 2011 by President Goodluck Jonathan. This event is witnessed by Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, some cabinet members, other justices of the Supreme Court, and Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State. The new CJN is coming in the thick of political activities, and he is appealing to politicians in the country to allow the judiciary function properly.
Law is not static, and that's why you have seen that the National Assembly had continued to amend the laws. And it is the law that the courts apply to the facts available. We shall continue to do justice if only Nigerians will allow us to perform and function without any pressure.
He's also promising reforms, which he says are already being implemented.
We are computerizing already the Supreme Court and all other courts of records so that the delay in filing cases will become a thing of the past. We are creating e-filing, we are creating e-diary so that lawyers can stay in the comfort of their chambers and contact the court, address the court by Zoom.
The judiciary in recent years has been tarred with allegations of corruption and bias, but there are those that can vouch for the new Chief Justice of Nigeria as a man that will ensure the integrity of the institution.
He is a very disciplined person, he is a team player, and he is an erudite person. These three adjectives qualifies him.
We counted ourselves quite lucky, and we look forward to supporting him to contribute to the development of the judiciary in Nigeria.
The swearing-in of the new CJN promises a new wave of change in the judiciary. It is coming at a crucial time when confidence in the courts as the last hope of the common man is essential, especially in the period immediately before and after next year's elections. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Indeed, the new Chief Justice came at a trying time for Nigeria. Elsewhere, today in Abuja, the coalition of united political parties, Cupp, raised the alarm over an alleged plot to remove the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, in a bid to allegedly compromise the 2023 general elections. The national chairman of Cupp, Ikenga Ugochinyere, made the allegation at a news conference in Abuja, where he said the coalition had also uncovered fresh plots to deactivate the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, from being used in the election. Here are more details on this story.
The chairman of Nigerian political parties, opposition coalition CUPP, and heads of political associations have intercepted intelligence of an alleged fresh plot against the 2023 general election, and this time being coordinated by leading figures of the ruling APC governors, led by a Southeast APC governor with controversial past, and another from the Northwest, who are working with their colleagues to perfect a plot to intimidate INEC leadership into abandoning the use of electronic transmission and upload of election results to the INEC server, deactivation of the BVAS machine from INEC server, and the creation of crisis of confidence based on trump-up charges that will lead to the removal of top officials of the Electoral Commission, including the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud, and other national commissioners who are insisting on the use of beavers for the 2023 election and the irreversible use of electronic transmission of results. This latest intelligence and shocking information involve the use of security agencies, the APC-controlled Senate, and the courts to cause a leadership crisis and change that will see to the removal of the Commission top leadership led by Professor Mahmoud and the appointment of a pushover and compromised acting chairman who will ruin the credibility of the 2023 election by deactivating the beavers machine from the INEC server. Stop the use of electronic transmission of results and also ensure that the Commission's resident electoral commissioners nominated by APC governors are quickly approved and deployed to states where they will be of assistance to the ruling party at the expense of credible, free and fair election.
That was Cupp chairman at a press conference where he raised the alarm over alleged plans to remove the INEC chairman. Very serious allegation. Elsewhere, still in Abuja, today, the Presidential Campaign Organization of Obi Datti unveiled a 1,234-member Presidential Campaign Council list. The team also announced that the council will be headed by Mohammed Zarewa as chairman and Doyin Okupe as its director general. Take a look at some experts from the event.
Fairness on the part of INEC and relevant stakeholders to ensure that 2023 elections are free, fair and credible. According to the Director General of the Campaign Council, Doyin Okupe, the country is at a critical time in its history and requires the political class to live up to expectations.
So at this time in our history, there can be no room ground in the requirement for informed, effective and firm leadership to begin the hard work of turning around our national history and our cloudy political outlook. Significant to observe and also to underline that the biggest movement has remained raising above religion, raising above ethnicity, raising above political affiliation, and all such narrow sentiments to become a truly national movement of Nigerians, prepared for full participation in this universal mission of national reconstruction.
He said the party will have issue-based engagement with the Nigerian people to ensure a new set of prudent managers emerge.
While those who want to remain willfully or self-deceitfully ignorant may continue to judge or turn this renaissance with bigoted, ethnic and immoral police, it is important to deeply reflect on the condition of political efforts and foundational issues of citizens' revolts in different parts of the world, and not failing in our duty of ensuring that we are not at cross purposes with the message. This rising army of young, angry, but patriotic Nigerians at this time of our national history. It is common knowledge that the record of democracy is the people's power.
The 1,234-member campaign council list has representations from the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Yusuf Akogu, Trust Television News, Abuja.
That was the unveiling of the campaign council of the Labour Party. There was, however, an unexpected twist when shortly after the unveiling, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Comrade Arambabi Abayomi, denied the involvement of the party in the unveiling, describing it as a mischievous political shenanigan being perpetrated by Mr. Doyin Okupe and then an anomaly. This particular story will be the focus of the conversation today on Daily Politics. Hello and welcome. I am Hamza Idris. Joining us to discuss this issue, we have Isaac Balami with us in the studio. He is the Deputy National Campaign Manager of the Labour Party. We are also joined by Nana Kazaure, who is a member of the media team for the Obi Datti Campaign Organization. Welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Nana, welcome back. Mr. Malawi, you are also welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, but before we go into the kickstarting of the campaign of your political party, you've seen the tidbits we have. The first one on the swearing in of the new Chief Justice of Nigeria. And the world, is aware of the circumstances surrounding his arrival, the resignation of Chief Justice Tanko Muhammad. And before then, what happened to Onagen, which led to the coming of Tanko. Now, what is your take on the swearing in of the new Chief Justice? Isaac.
Well, I think, like you did say initially, he's coming at the most crucial time of Nigeria's history. He's coming at a time where the international community and the entire country, Nigeria, is watching. The bottom line is that I wish him well. I expect nothing but equity, fairness, and justice from him. However, I'm a bit concerned, and I think there is a need for him to change his perception.
Okay.
He said something that he will do his best if Nigerians will allow him to.
Okay.
That is not acceptable.
All right.
Because there are three arms of government, and the judiciary is independent. So the question of whether they will allow him to operate or to do his job properly, it doesn't even arise.
Okay.
We expect him to be the man that he is, the man of fairness and justice. I've read so much about him. I have so much respect for him. He should take leadership. He should remove Nigeria from shame, because we don't have a good name out there. The world does not take us serious anymore. And if there should be changes, if the world should begin to respect our green passport, if peace, tranquility will return back to Nigeria, he has a major role to play. So his body language should be not that of asking for Nigerians or the powers that be
to give him opportunity.
No.
Nana, did you share the same sentiment with Isaac?
To an extent, yes. But then I also believe that the Nigeria that we are moving towards, that we're galvanizing ourselves for, will give him room to work, and he will be effective. Because like he said, where I now agree with him is that the disrespect of our green passport or even our name. Meanwhile, I think Nigerians are one of the most amazing people on the planet.
Okay.
Nigerians are the most intelligent people you've met. Nigerians take a bad situation and can turn it into something that, more palatable. Nigerians in the media are doing amazing things. So yes, I do expect him to come and work. Like he said, I've read about him. They've said it that he's very, very.
But how can he change the perception about the judiciary? Allegations that it is mired in corruption. What do you think he should do to correct this bad impression? Judges selling judgments, favoring people who do not deserve it, and all that.
He's a judge, and he should work well with people who can do the investigations. And if people need to be sacked, if people need to leave so that he cleans up the judiciary, then he has our blessing already. So Nigerians are telling him, sir, please get to work. Thank you very much.
Wow. Yes. Now, our other tidbit was on allegation by coalition of political parties. The Labour Party is part of Cupp. They allege that there is grand plan to force the INEC chairman to leave office in order to pave the way for, compromising the integrity of the 2023 elections. What is your take on this?
You see, first of all, my background is aviation. And as an aviator, even if there's a crash today, you are meant to allow the Accident Investigation Bureau to carry out a proper investigation as to what led to the crash before you can make certain conclusions. So in this case, as I have been wired from my background, I just hope it is not true. I just hope that this is not happening. However, you see, there's one thing. If it is true, I think it is obvious that Nigerians are tired of being fooled. It is obvious that enough is enough. You've seen what has happened in the last couple of months. Not by the Labour Party, not by the Ubidati campaign organization. Organic followership. Millions of Nigerians trooping, spending their money. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria.
So they will not agree to any compromise.
You see, we have gone past that age where you can just do and undo. You can't reverse it. And people are talking about rigging or no rigging. Those things, Nigerians, it is when people had no interest. When people felt, oh, anybody can rule. On election day, people sit in their houses and just wait for the result. People are tired. I'm in Borno State. For 10 years, I cannot go for Salah or Christmas holiday. I lost loved ones I cannot visit. I'm not the only person. It's not about how comfortable you are. So it is obvious, whether the current INEC chairman, whether whatsoever it is, the bottom line is that Nigerians will not take rubbish from anybody again.
Yes, Nana, Isaac is an aviation expert. You are a politician. Many political parties there making this allegation. Why do you think some people, and who do you suspect, that they want to remove INEC chairman? On what grounds? Why? Is it that he's doing a wonderful job, or he's incompetent that they want to remove him?
I cannot say that he has been incompetent. Based on his trajectory and the kind of work he's done, even the introduction of the beavers, and for us to be able to use accounts electronically, that shows somebody who is forward thinking. That shows somebody that really wants to ensure that his name goes down in the annals of history as somebody that made Nigerian citizens, the electorate, made our votes count. So, like he said, we hope it's not true that they're trying to either bully him and the INEC officials, because the crop of Nigerians that are moving now, the crop of Nigerians that are saying enough is enough, are very, very...
It's unprecedented.
It's unprecedented, and they are educating themselves. They are ensuring that... Let me give you an example. I know that ASU has been on strike for 8 months? And do you know what some young people have done? It is so impressive. They, rather than stay home, they've bought books such as the Nigerian Constitution. So you find somebody who's actually supposed to be an engineering student
reading the Nigerian Constitution.
Cover.
Yeah.
That's how far Nigerians are going.
Finally, Isaac, in Imo State, there is this allegation that someone went to court to compel INEC not to use beavers in the election and to reintroduce incidence form. Will you accept that as a party?
You see, again, these are all jokers. I think they're not reading the handwriting on the wall. I think a couple of them are very, very smart. They have retrieved by their body language. You can see that they're like, these people, let's just leave them. Let them do what is right. You see, it doesn't even make sense. Like I said, the whole world is laughing at us. We travel around the world, we feel very, very embarrassed bringing out our passports. All these things happening cannot fly.
So if I get you right, INEC must be allowed to do its work.
INEC has to.
Thank you very much. This is how far we can take on these tidbits, viewers. Yes, very interesting topic.
They must.
But we will take a quick break now, and when we return, the discussion of the day, which is the kickstarting of the campaign by the Labour Party, will commence. Don't go away.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics, and our topic of discussion is as the Labour Party kickstarts its campaign. We have in the studio Isaac Balami, Deputy National Campaign Manager 1 of the party, and Nana Kazaure, spokesperson for OB Deputy Campaign Organization. Welcome back. Nana, I have to apologize to you because you wanted to make a point, but time not on our side. Now, back to the business of the day. Isaac, it appears there is discordant tunes in the Labour Party. Going by what happened today, you people unveiled the Presidential Campaign Council, but a senior member of the party said it's just doing Okupe who is doing some shenanigans, not Labour Party. How do you reconcile this?
But you see, what is surprising me with the media, and with due respect to this platform, is the person you mentioned was the person who read out these people, seated right beside our DG. I don't know why we should even be discussing this. Nigerians will always talk. They said that the list was not, that we didn't capture the 6 zones. Go through the list. It's very, very clear. I think people don't know what to do anymore. They're just looking for errors and mistakes. Let me tell you this. We are not perfect people. But we'll continue to do our best in Labour Party. And the Obidati Presidential Campaign Council will continue to do her best to ensure that we deliver this mandate.
But is it the party or Doyin Okupe and his group that, unveiled the council today? Nana?
If you look at the people who were sitting on the panel, I recall that Alhaji Ibrahim Umar Farouk Umar Ibrahim.
Yeah, he represented the national chairman,
exactly.
Umar Farouk.
And he's the Labour Party.
He allegedly, is it allegedly? Because, that is why we are trying to make sense out of what happened. Yeah.
He's the National Secretary, Labour Party.
He represented the chairman.
Exactly, representing the chairman. So how does that even tally?
That is what I want to ask you. Because you see, the story is there. And the statement, is it that, you can see the video, by the National Publicity Secretary, Isaac. So when you said people create stories, honestly, people don't really, especially we, don't create stories. We follow the stories. And that is why I said, where is really the problem? Yeah.
There's no problem.
There's none.
On the left-hand side of the DG, Dr. Doyin Okupe, is the National Secretary of the party.
Exactly.
By his right-hand side is the National Publicity Secretary, who has the mandate, who has all this while, all the meeting of the campaign council, he has been present.
Was he aggrieved then when he issued that statement? Because we learned, you see, before we came...
Did you capture him on video?
Exactly.
No.
He said,
the text is there. The text message is there.
Checks. Anybody, I can leave this place and somebody will say, I said something else that I did not say.
Yeah.
It's not on video. So you see, for me, please let's discuss something serious. Let's not waste let's not waste our time.
So if I understand, you are trying to say Labour Party is one.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what about the allegation? Honestly, I went through the list, yeah, and the text. Some people are alleging that the distribution of the offices is really skewed to favor some people. It's not truly representative of the diversity of Nigerians. Nana?
People will always talk. You can never satisfy everybody. The list has come out. We're the only party that has even brought out a list of over 1,000 people. That speaks to how inclusive the campaign and the political party, Labour Party, how we are all working together. So when people come and say,
but the
it's not inclusive.
You see, part of the allegation by the publicity secretary was that this formation of the list should be done by the presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Yeah, because like Atiku, he did his, the drag and all that, but at the end of the day, he had his way. As the candidate, he knows what he wants to achieve. Why Okupe?
In this case, it's different.
Okay.
There's nothing Okupe will say that's different. That our principal
has not approved of.
Let me tell you this. And also, we sat down with Labour. We did this thing together. Didn't you see the list for Labour? Was it not part of the whole list that was actually announced? Anyway, like I said, we're not here to discuss.
No, it's part of the campaign, you know. You are starting campaign.
There are no issues. The secretary of the party and the national publicity secretary was there, and you saw them on video, and they both spoke. The secretary introduced the DG, and when the DG finished his speech, the national publicity secretary announced the campaign council members.
Let me chip in here.
Okay.
If we look at, for example, the PDP, some people were conspicuously absent to register their displeasure that they have been registering. I strongly believe that if Victor Ume and Alleges Umar Farouk had any issues, they most definitely would have registered some form of displeasure by not even honoring the invitation. So that in itself lets you know that wherever that story came from, it's untrue. Yes.
Okay, but this very important question. People have this feeling that the candidate, Peter Obi, going by his background, he was in ABGA for many years. He served as governor under its platform. He moved to PDP and just recently moved to Labour Party. That his philosophy, his ideas are not actually in tandem with that of Labour Party. It's just a marriage of convenience. Do you agree with this? And if not, how can you now say that they are on the same page?
If his philosophy is not the same, you see, people say what they want to say. For example, people came out and say he is stingy, he doesn't give shishi. But is that the truth? It's not the truth.
I don't really know.
No.
Does he give?
It is not the truth. What people want is free money. And that's what has brought us to this dead end we are in today. Today, dollar is over 700 naira. Today, there's no direction. And that is the kind of leaders that Nigerians want. A leader who will destroy the economy, destroy the future of their unborn children, but put money in their pocket. That is what they want. He is not that kind of person. So the shishi he won't give to you is what you didn't work for, you will not earn. Didn't you read that he gave 1 million naira to graduates to start business, and today they are doing well? Is that not what we want? Didn't you read that he empowered a whole car manufacturer, Innocent, and today that company is doing extremely well? What else do you want? So the bottom line you see is that people just talk, but for us, we will not be distracted. And let me tell you this, if you think we're coming here to talk about how holy Peter Obi is, whether as a Christian, you are a Muslim, you know that the only prophet on earth who ever lived without sin is Anabi Isa, is Jesus Christ.
No, all the prophets, let's not go to that.
Who was holy? Who did not commit sin? Who was blemish? What I'm trying to say here is that we are not here to say Peter Obi is the most righteous man in Nigeria. We are saying he has what it takes, and he trusts people like
he's not the most righteous man. He's not the most righteous man, but he's the better man.
The philosophy,
the best man
the philosophy Nigerians are asking is this, because you are about to start campaign, and we are talking about issues-based campaign. That Peter Obi is talking about removing subsidy. Labour Party is against subsidy removal. So how do you reconcile this?
The way it can be reconciled is very simple. Nothing is ever really cast in stone. In law, you hear them say there are exceptions to the rule. Is subsidy needed in Nigeria? Is the removal important? Yes, it is. Labour Party is not going to remain very stringent and say it must be this or that. So it's a socialist party. So there's the leftist angle, and some people can be, you know, a little bit to the right, and there are people who are in the middle. I know that I see my principal, Peter Obi, as somebody who is a social democrat. So if you look at countries like China, they are communist, but then they are also very capitalist in the way they run their governments.
Yeah, they define their capitalism.
There's always a balance. There's a way to always strike a balance.
Correct.
So when people just come out and say, oh, he's just, you know, it's just a party for convenience. No. Because one thing Peter Obi has always said is anybody who earns a legitimate income is automatically a member of the Labour Party.
But why did he choose Labour Party? He was in Abuja before. And at what point do you think he will now consult the Labour Union, the real Labour Union, the workers, so that they now, you know, get to the same page, so that there won't be contradictions during your campaign, which you...
Let me just tell you this.
Yes.
Let me just tell you this. I have a wife and children. We have discussions, constructive argument. Whenever my children win, they have their way.
Dialogue.
Let me just tell you this. The question of choosing Labour Party, because as at that point, our principal felt that is the best party he needs to go with. But you see, I don't also want to believe that. Are you telling me that Labour Party don't have reasons for saying they don't want subsidy to be removed? They have good reasons.
Okay,
I'm the former spokesperson of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, elected.
Okay, you.
I'm the former pilot and aircraft engineers national president elected for 8 years.
So you're a unionist.
I'm a unionist. Let me tell you this.
Yes.
And I'm also former Arewa Consultative Forum Youth Congress national president. The bottom line is this. The main reason why the Labour Party is against subsidy removal is sometimes when you remove it and you claim that you will use the money to build infrastructure, it has not happened. The money is still being stolen. There's no transparency.
And you were part of those against it.
Exactly.
You, as a union.
There was no transparency. But you see, today, I mean, even in the aviation sector now, the unions are afraid of privatization. Privatization is very, very good. The union knows that. But their problem is the transparency and how it will help to create more jobs. In other parts of the world, privatization has created more jobs. But in Nigeria, people have lost their jobs. Today, NEPA is gone. The discourse are there, but things are getting more worse. There's no trust. That is why somebody like our principal, Mr. Peter Obi, is coming here with the capacity and the verifiable evidence. What he has been able to demonstrate in the last couple of years is the reason why today Labour is saying, we think we can work with this person. And he's saying, yes, we might have different opinions, but we can sit down on the table and look for the best option. And guess what? Our principal is a very, very open-minded person. I've sat with him not once, not twice, not 3 times. Severally, he will say, this is what you want. If we go to him and say, this is what we think, even as youth, even as young people, he listens to us. That is the leader Nigeria needs. Not a leader who just feels that youth can only be used for thuggery, rigging, violence. No.
But what direction do you think he will take? Because it's a serious, this issue of, privatization, taking things to the private sector, they are the things the Labour Party is strongly against, as he said, and I want to agree with that. But does he have the magic wand to change some of these things?
That's why they decided that they will work well with him. It means that the magic wand is already working. Already, what we're looking for is where we can bring about balance. Privatization should not be shunned, but then some things should still be shunned. Some institutions will still remain with the government. So there's synergy as far as I'm concerned. Like he said, there are times that you go up to them and you just say, we don't think this will work very well. And we have a listening ear. And that's, like he said, that's the kind of leader everybody wants.
The obedience, as you call yourself. You keep, wherever you go, you say, let's take back our country. Is that not an incitement?
It is not.
Isaac.
How?
It is not an incitement.
How?
It is never, and it will never be an incitement. In fact, APC, before APC pushed PDP out of power, they did more worse things. We are even civil. We are educated. We are not mad people. We argue constructively. The bottom line here is that, you see, when time is up, time is up. Of course, there will be resistance. Initially, they say we are just 4 people in a room with our computer tweeting. And then they began to see millions on the street. As somebody say, we have no structure. Now they are seeing us in the grassroots level, in local government polling unit and ward level, discussing with people. People are selling their farm produce to support this movement. It is happening already. It's a tsunami. And you see, tsunami, all just like our DG did say, when tsunami comes, when a wave, a wind, whether it's flood that comes, old foundation will give way. And that is already happening. If you are into ICT, check what is happening, you will see what is happening.
I will come to that question. But Nana, you see, you people in the Labour Party, you like throwing figures all the time. Today, at the unveiling, the DG said you already have 15 million voters in your kitty. Where did you get that figure?
Oh, we have tested it. We have tested it. We have a way of testing it. We are not illiterate. If you have certain number of people that you have their data and you communicate with them through whatever means, I can't discuss much here, and you get a particular feedback and you find a way scientifically to get across to them and it's positive, and you see them on the street using their money for you, he was even conservative.
When you look at all the polls, all the rallies that have been going on, Nasarawa State, Rivers State, Lagos State, Jos Plateau State, just to name a few, you think those numbers don't exist?
They say they are rented
million.
crowds.
How can you believe that they are rented crowds? This is an organic movement. People believe that they are rented crowds because of the antecedents of the past. So the people who are making these allegations is because that's what they're used to. They're not used to people Nigerians coming out to say, this is what we want. Here we are, we're standing here, and we're going to rally, and we're going to show our support. So that is why you just
PDP and APC, Nana, they keep saying, including other parties, that you only have followers in the social media web, and that will hardly translate to real votes.
We are not robots. The people on the streets that they saw are not just social media. Those are real,
as I said,
living, breathing people.
As I said, the same people, because you see,
they can continue
this
to
issue of
deceive
fact check, is gathering momentum. Now, deliberately media houses deploy reporters to attend some of these rallies to snap photos, because the same people that you invite today, tomorrow, if another party, is staging similar event, the same people will go because they will be giving 500 naira.
That brought me to
pick up. We don't give 500 naira, and we don't give any money at our rallies.
And that even brought me to where we will nail the matter.
We don't do that.
Let me tell you this, sir. You know that the obedient movement is organic. Let us not discuss that. It's not even in contention. You saw videos of other parties having rallies here in Abuja, and people were struggling to enter the bus. They wanted their money first. They said, no, when you arrive, we'll give you money. The video is all over. Video does not lie. But let me just tell you this.
Yeah.
I'm from southern part of Borno State. There's no cousin of mine that is up to 18 years old that I know of. Whether he's farming or he's into any kind of menial jobs or in school, that doesn't operate a smartphone. They all operate. 5 of my family members have POS machine in the village. If there's no network for them to do Facebook, Twitter, and whatever, how would they operate POS in the village? There's 9 Mobile, there's MTN, there's Glo in my village. People are just speaking. You see, it worked in 2015, and now they feel 8 years later it will not work. It's a joke. This thing is happening, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's just for people to accept it. The people that are very, very wise, you see, I will tell you this. Let me just give you one fact. Look at people like our caliber that are in APC or PDP. They are there for what they can get.
Are you not in LP for what you
We
get?
are bringing what we have. We are spending what we have.
We're giving what we have.
I was the convener of Plateau State. I was the convener of Plateau State. I convened it with the Middle Belt president. The Middle Belt, and I was the co-convener. Guess what? It was organic.
Nana, there is this campaign, raise fund, put together by Professor Pat Otomi.
Oh, yes, yes.
40 million ballots movement. They currently fund 40 MB, right?
Yes.
How far have you gone with that?
It's work in progress, but people are, it's work of the big tent, of which is the brainchild of Professor Pat Otomi. So people are still, the support groups in their large numbers are there. And so they work together along with the Labour Party, along with the campaign team to ensure that everybody is under one roof. We've gone quite far. I won't be giving figures because I don't know.
You don't want your opponents.
Exactly.
But,
I won't say what I don't
Isaac,
know.
there is this legal implications of what you are doing. We invited people here saying, even the threshold, what you are trying to get in dollars. How much? $100 million. In Naira, you are going to look, we are looking, is 150 billion. And INEC said presidential candidates should not spend more than 5 billion.
Did that statement come from our principal or from the party?
But it came, how strong is Pat Otomi in the...
Supporters will talk. Supporters will talk. The big tent is,
he made this statement, right?
It's a major support group.
Okay.
But that does not mean that our principals will not go by the books.
Exactly.
Mind you,
whatever they will
our
do
principal
will be
ran
within the ambit of the
as
law.
VP in 2019. He knows the rules. The bottom line here is that as we're here now, I went to Plateau State. Some women just came, they sell food normally, and they just began to give their food for free to people. You can't stop that. You can't stop that. Somebody came and on his own just printed 5,000 shirts and cap. He is not even a member of the Labour Party. He came to Plateau State rally and said, I just heard that you people are coming here. This is my contribution. And guess what? He removed 500,000 naira and said, please, people should go and buy food and eat. You can't stop that.
I have a question for you.
For me, Nana?
Yes,
don't ask me a question. I brought you here to ask you. It's my show, so I think I'm the one asking questions.
Okay, so let me turn it into a sentence.
Good, Nana.
Women
yes.
who fry chin-chin, who roast
akara.
Who roast groundnuts and bottle them and package them. Are you aware that they've started naming their products obedient chin-chin, obedient groundnuts? You can't pay for that.
People are even asking you, Nana Kazaure, what is the motivation of joining the Labour Party?
My motivation is I want a better Nigeria. I've always said it, and I said it here the last time I was here. I want a Nigeria that works for Nigerians. Right now, we are in a place where people just don't even know that we want hope. Peter Obi presents hope. Peter Obi, Deti Baba Ahmed present a new order, a new Nigeria, and the kind of hope that I'm looking for. When somebody says to you that the cost of governance needs to be reduced because it's wastage, then you know that the person really cares about everything.
But he was part of PDP. He was part of...
But he was different.
But he was
demonstrated it.
Person.
He was different.
You can see from his work in the past that he was different. And people don't like that difference. I do. The people who are part of the obedient movement, we have seen how detrimental all of this has been to us in the past.
Okay.
We want things to just
But honestly, Isaac, I want to know how different he is. Atiku said he's a unifier. Tinubu said he's a bridge builder. And your candidate is saying he's trying to reclaim that hope and this thing. How? Because what Nigerians keep asking us to ask you, the politicians, is how are you going to do it?
I've asked you a simple question.
And how are you going to be different? Yeah.
I've asked you a simple question. Somebody who wants to move the country from consumption to production, who has
But they say he's the greatest importer.
When?
Peter Obi.
When?
Using his companies.
When? No, let me even land.
Okay.
Okay, finish.
Today, it's not a shame that we are still importing cars. He met Innocent, and he contributed significantly to what Innocent Motors is today. That is the kind of leader we want. That's the kind of leader we want. Today, the biggest shopping mall.
That he has
the biggest shopping mall in this country today, is it not a ShopRite? If they say he has a link with Next Cash and Carry, is it not domiciling and creating jobs? For me, you see, the bottom line here is that this man is not a saint. He's not a perfect person.
But you think
he has demonstrated capacity. He is better than other candidates, black and white. You can't even compare them.
Nana, how different? Because, I mean, in terms of spread, there is this claim that majority of people see Labour Party as Igbo political party. Even though you are from the north, but I have to ask this question because this is what people are asking. How different? Is it an Igbo party or a national party? And how national is it?
It's very national. It has representatives in all the 36 states and including the FCT. Even where I'm from, I have my Labour Party chairman. We have people who are already in the Labour Party who call themselves obedient. It is, I don't want to use the word on television.
But I check the list of candidates, you know, as announced by INEC. You people could not field some positions of Senate, House of Reps, and House of Assembly. And you want to win the presidential election. How?
Every development has a process. Yes, the Labour Party has been there, but then look at how far we have come in just 4 or 5 months. So in time, these things we will grow. We will fit into the shoes the big shoes that we need to.
By the way,
For now, we are in a development process. You can't use that against us. Look at Lesotho. Look at Kenya. There are countries that have shown that we have the potential to knock off the status quo, and that's what we're going for. That's what we're gunning for.
But I have this question, Isaac.
By the way, this is not the first time that our principal is going through this. He became a governor with no single State House of Assembly.
But you see, state is different. Now, I'm coming. Let me ask the question. Let me ask the question. Now, assuming he wins, but you don't have House of Assembly members, you don't have House of Reps, you don't have senators. How can he? Don't you think there will be repeat
Nigerian people that voted him versus the National Assembly? They should try it and see.
Aside from that, how do you sack somebody that's doing a good job?
But you see, it happened in Kaduna. Up till now, the general belief was that they have never had a governor as Balarabe Musa. Within few years, he was able to do things, but simply because he don't have members of the Senate Assembly, he was toppled of sort.
There was no awareness then. There was no social media.
How will you prevent that?
There was no media then. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
The issue of, let me tell you this is the first time that Nigerians are bringing their own.
Yeah.
All this while they've been imposing people on us. This one we're saying, that's why we're bringing our money. We want you to come and help us. And let me tell you this. When
but Buhari enjoyed the same thing. Buhari enjoyed the same thing.
Do you remember that he said he's running for office, the office of president, through us?
Buhari said the same thing.
At the same time,
and it was Nigerians using, you know, people sold their belongings, people bought recharge card to donate to Buhari's presidency. So
why do you think
is there anything new? Nothing, I think.
But we've seen what happened. And so right now we are going to ensure that he's accountable. He has always said to us, I hold me accountable for whatever it is I do. I will be held accountable.
Okay, I have this last question. I want you to answer in 10 seconds, you in 10 seconds. When are you going to Southeast to campaign? Because you have been going to Lagos, Bauchi.
Let me just tell you this.
Yes.
Let me just tell you this. The Southeasterners are not foolish people. Don't ever think that the Igbos are foolish. I want Nigerians to take this very, very serious. They're not fools. Let me just tell you this. Take it to the bank. The Southeasterners will surprise Nigerians. The Afeniferes and the Middle Belt unveiled Peter Obi. They didn't do it. If they have done it, you will say he is.
Nana, when are you going to the Southeast?
We will be going to the Southeast as soon as possible.
It's on the timetable.
Watch this space. Exactly. We have our time.
Nigerians are watching, and we'll keep watching to see when you will be going. Thank you very much for coming. Nana Kazaure, spokesperson, Obidati Campaign Organization.
Thank you very much.
Isaac Balami, Deputy National Campaign Manager, One Labour Party. We appreciate your presence. Viewers, this is where we come to the end of today's edition of the program, which we hope you enjoy and stay with us for another edition tomorrow. For now, thank you very much. I am Hamza Idris.